Okay, you guys, so I put all my bins back in their order. Now, I put some things back in the bin and took everything out that didn't belong in the bin. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through and take out all of these, because halfway through I decided I wasn't going to use these anymore because I don't like not seeing what's in all of my bins. So I'm going to go through and take these out. It was something that I tried and I did not like to do. So for what I kept in my box is these ones. Well, I didn't keep that in the box. I kept my sewing stuff in this bin right here. I put my embossing powders and stuff back in this bin. I know that I came on and I said I wanted to make them any smaller, but that would have taken up 3 of these little bins, and I did not want to do that. So I went ahead and kept them in this larger bin, and I added a little tray for all of my smaller ones, but I got rid of the 3 almost like bead trays that were in there. I kept all of my color bins, so I've got black, white, brown, gold, orange, yellow, red. I had to move purple into a bigger bin, and then this one is like an aqua, blue, and then green. Down here is empty. This one, I moved all of my watercolors. I even was able to include my little jar of watercolors right here in this bin, and then my Heidi Swap paintbrushes are in here. So I consolidated, I had my watercolors in 2 different spots, and I consolidated them all into one little bin. This is all textiles, so sponges, paint palettes, everything like that, that will help me give a texture to my painting. This is also textiles. I've got bubble wrap and netting and anything I can make a circle out of, so that is all in this one. And these 3 containers came from my tower. So I was able to actually put them all right here in this little section. This is my gesso going on right here. So basically it's not just gesso. It's anything, it's my gloss medium, it's my gesso, it's my texture paste. Anything that doesn't have color basically is in this bin. And then these 2 are my Nuvo, and then my my texture pastes and my stickles. And then I had to put my my gilding wax way up here, because everything going down is re-inkers and refills for stuff. So this is kind of all like storage for when I want to play with my refills. So I had to put my gilding wax all the way up here. I didn't want to put it all the way down at the bottom, because down at the bottom, these last 2 are more like my typewriter ribbon, refills for my favorite mechanical pencil, and then staples and book clips, like the book rings for making albums. So, and then these are all just refills going all the way up in color until you get to this one. This one is my gelatos. Now I have to tell you guys, my gelatos have moved around my room. In my previous room it moved 3 times, and in this room it's already moved twice. So I have to say, if I don't touch my gelatos at least 6 times this year in 2024, they will be leaving my room. I don't use them at all. So I'm just not going to use them. So this is empty. This is empty. So all 3 of these bins above my ink pads are empty. And then this one is my white cardstock. So it was over in the tower, and I moved it over here underneath so it's closer to all of my mixed media. That makes sense to me. This is empty. And then I've got this space right here that is totally empty. I did not bring that case back in because I still have to go through it and see if I even need it, because ever since I've moved into this room, I haven't touched it. Now it could be because I'm still trying to get a feel for the room. I don't know the answer to that yet. This right here stayed the same. It is all of my page protectors. I like it up here because it is so heavy and I can pull it down and let it fall to me rather than down here and I have to lift it up to me. So I kept it right where it was. It was a great spot for everything. And then right here on the side, I keep 12 by 12s ready and open. But everything in my room is in a baggie of some sort because I live in a desert. Everything is dusty. So all of my product is protected in some sort of baggie or film of some sort. So I do have some page protectors out at the ready for me to just pull out if I accidentally turned an 8.5 by 11 into a 12 by 12 and I need to switch that page protector out in my album. So I have those handy. I also have 9 by 12s because sometimes I forget to cut that 1 inch off of my 8.5 by 11 and it'll end up being 8.5 by 12. And so I'll switch it out with an 8.5 by 11 for a 9 by 12 as well. Here I have some super old inspiration books. I don't know why I even have them, but I've got the 4 Close to My Heart original sketchbooks as well as a couple other inspirational books, a keepsakes book. They're just books, like they're just how-to books. I don't know why I keep them, you guys. I put them in this container and then they just sit here. I don't know if it's a memorabilia type of thing. I don't know. If sentimental, I'm not sure. So I'm just going to keep those there for right now. And then I've got this patch that says 1 more page, I promise. And that's been in this little box for the longest time ever. And I've got a graphic 45 pen, big giant pen, put inside this one. And then in this one it just says Scrapbook Girl, and it's a patch that you could put on top. And then inside here is my colored cardstock. So that is what my colored cardstock is. But ever since I moved it, again, it had 3 different homes in my room. I've moved them all out and I haven't touched them since I've moved them. But I do put scraps in there for cardstock. So like when I get it from Tonic Studio or another kind of kit, I do end up putting them in. I just don't take anything out. So I'm not sure if I'm going to end up keeping those or not. Here, this whole place was full of file folders and things like that. I dwindled it down to just 1 file folder. Down in this section right here, I'm not sure if you can see it or not. I've backed my camera out as far as possible, but I have my 12 by 12 stencils right here. These are all project envelopes, so they're really thick, close to my heart, plasticky envelopes that when I go to retreats, I put page kits inside here so that way I can film faster at a retreat instead of trying to build a kit while I'm visiting and enjoying. So this makes it a lot easier. I do have 28, so that way I could plan like a whole month with them. But here at the house, I've tried that. It doesn't work like it does on a retreat. So they just stay here waiting for a retreat. This brown binder here is for cut files and stuff. I believe once these cut files are gone, I'm not going to use this system anymore for cut files because I forget that they're there. And when I was on a cut file design team, it worked out really well because I needed to flip through them at least twice a month. But now it seems like I am not going to my cut files as often as I did, and there's only a few left in here. So once this empties out, I think I'm going to repurpose this album for something. I don't know yet. I've got my 2 bins way down in here that are my punches that I don't have room on my rails for, but they're also my least used punches. I just know that I don't want to get rid of my punches. I am not ready to do that. Every now and then I get in the mood to want to do punch art. And so I feel like if I get rid of those and then I go to do punch art and I don't have any punches, I feel like I can't do punch art, even though I can go to the Cricut and probably cut it out on the Cricut. It's okay. But I do want to save those just for when I want to do punch art and they're not taking up a whole lot of space. The good thing is I do know now that my space is limited and I don't buy punches as much as I used to. I have 2 empty bins right above the punches. This khaki bin that was ribbon is also empty. This one has my cutting system in it, so it's got my circle cutters from Creative Memories. I think that's all that's in here is just my circle cutters. I also have a tag maker. Now, I was talking to my girlfriend, so this is a super old Making Memories tag maker, and I love making these kinds of tags, the metal rimmed tags. And Tim Holtz very briefly came out with another one a couple years after this one came out, and I told my girlfriend I am going to use this up until I don't have any more of these little frames, which I have a ton of because they take up this whole bin, and then I will decide what to do with the tool later. But I stopped using it because they stopped making the frames, and I was worried about running out. And it's like, okay, well, I miss out when I don't use my stuff. So I'm going to use that. It's going to be on my list of product focus items this year. I'm going to try to focus on an item every month. So that is on my list of product focus, so I can get those tags used up and the tool moved out of my room, unless I can find more of those rims, right? Here are my smaller page protectors. Now, they're not really page protectors, they're actually flip-flops. So I have them in all different sizes, 6x12, 8x12, 4x12, 4x6, blah, 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 all over. So I kept that the same as well. This system is working for me. And when I only touch this about once or twice a year, depending on how fast I move through albums. So when I go to build an album, this is used a lot. I go through and I go through all my photos, and if I don't want to go past a 2-page layout, but I have more photos than a 2-page layout, I pull out page flip-flops. So that is definitely useful. This is also on my product focus. I know it's not a product that you can buy, but this whole drawer is full of memorabilia, and I have 2022 and 2023's memorabilia in this bin. I also found a bunch of memorabilia from 2014, so I want to go through this bin. I'm going to do a whole month of making sure that my memorabilia is included in my albums, and so I want to make sure that this bin dwindles down and I only keep it for a year at a time. So that's also on my to-do list for product focus, because it still is a product. It's just not one that I buy through a store, right? So it's not going to be the same exact as what everybody else has. These are all empty. Every single one of these are empty until I get up to here. Now this, I did not move out into my tower. This is my Marvel, my comic book, basically. It's not just Marvel, there's DC characters in here too. But this is my comic book category. And I don't do as much as I used to do. I know I'm not done with my 2015 Marvel album. We went to a live Marvel show, and I have very little to do left in that album. And so I know I'm not done with it, but then every now and then I do a Marvel page because my kids do something, well, either heroic, you know, microscopically heroic, but either heroic, or they go and we go to the movies, a superhero movie or something. They dress up like that for Halloween, something. This is probably a category I will never get rid of, even if my kids grow up, because hopefully I'll have grandkids. Hopefully. All of these are empty, all the way down, so I'm not sure yet what I'm doing with all of these little cubbies. I don't know. I talked to my girlfriend. Should I take all of these out and double up the shelves and use these as vertical storage for something? I do have those containers for close to my heart that have eyelets and brads and things in there. Again, another product that is out of sight, out of mind, because it's under my desk. And the things that are under my desk are usually long-term storage items, things that I don't have to constantly bend down and keep getting. And so I probably need to move those out. So I was thinking it would take up 3 of these little sections if I were to do that, but then I still have all of this to play with. So I'm not really sure yet. And it goes all the way back, I believe it's 13 inches deep. So I do have a lot of playing space to figure out what to do with this whole section here. This is empty, 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 and then I get to here. And then you can't see down below here. But the next 3 bins, one of them is my extra adhesive. So I just moved it from the tower over to here. And then the next one down is another, it's a hobby I still enjoy doing. I just don't have a lot of time to do it, and it's called quilling. So it's rolling up tiny pieces of paper and making pictures and images out of them. So I have a lot of stuff saved up for quilling, so I decided to leave it all there. It hasn't outgrown. I haven't bought any more of it or anything. So I think what I'm going to do is hang on to it, and then once I move, once I get a little bit of spare time or something, I may want to play with it or get, take a vacation and take it on a vacation with me and play with it. And then the last thing that I have down in my bin or down in my shelf is empty bottles, empty spray bottles for my... So I've got empty spray bottles for when my spray bottles don't work and I have to switch out the nozzles or even the bottle itself. Now the tower, I didn't touch anything on the top of the tower. I went ahead and I left it because I was it was safe and secure up on top. I didn't need to move all these bins or anything to get to what I was trying to do with the bins. So I'll start with these ones here. These ones are all empty. All of these are empty. And then I've moved all my collections. All the collections that were over here in these skinny drawers have now been moved to over here in this area because it got it closer to my scrapbooking room. So I basically switched spots with mixed media, which was all over here, and I put it all over here. And now I've got my my collections going on. Now I could have moved the Marvel collection to over here, but I chose not to because this space is a little bit taller in here by the way that it just fell that way. I don't know how everything became taller on this one side. I'm not really, it's like lopsided. I don't know, to be honest, but it just fit better in this little larger spot than it does in these spots over here. So I have 4 different collections going on. I did record me taking one collection or 2 collections and combining them into one, so that made me super happy. I did move my daughter's trip to DC, my oldest daughter's trip to DC. My youngest has not gone yet. I did move that up from a deep bin into a skinnier bin because it didn't need to be in a deep bin. I just put it in the deep bin so that way, well, for one, that was all that I had available at the time. So I did that. The bin underneath it is empty. The next 3 bins are empty, and then the 2 larger bins down below are also empty. So everything got purged. I had so much stuff just shoved into here that I didn't even know what it was anymore. And I thought to myself, how long has that been in there? If I couldn't remember, it was gone. It just, I couldn't do it. So another thing too is all of this glitter paper. I had a rainbow of glitter paper going on over here. I ended up moving the rainbow paper to under my desk. So right when I sit down, right to the under my desk and to the right of me, I have more paper storage. It's a horizontal rather than a vertical. And so I have my miscellaneous printed paper that could be read as a solid. So I have that small, and it's a very small stack. So I have that under there. I have my cork board under there, so if I want to play with cork. I also have all of my rainbow papers now. My rainbow glitter papers are now under there because I didn't see why they needed to take up all this space when I never touched them. Like, I honestly never touched them. I did also go through each one of these bags of rainbow paper, or rainbow glitter or shimmer paper. I went through all of them and shrunk them down in half because, again, I don't use all of it, so I don't need all of it. So I kept a sheet of this or 2 sheets of that. So I did all that. These right here are experimental pieces that Janet gave me. I still need to put them in my laser and see if my laser will cut them. And then these never changed. So again, I was really happy with this storage here with my ink pads and all of my sprays. Super, super happy. I've got all of my sprays still up here because I really like how they fit on the tower. Now, I wish they all fit straight up and down, but it's okay. I'm perfectly okay. I'm still going to have my husband work on the wings that I took off of my box and make it go like this and see how many I can get on the shelf. But I think I'm going to leave these, and then that box, if I get it to go, will slide perfectly right in here, and then I can slide it out when I want to see all my sprays, and it'll be all these sprays that are up in here. So then that way all my sprays will be in one spot. Now, the biggest decision, especially for up here, I'm not sure, you guys can't even see up there. Let me see if I can't move it. So all of this up here, I would like to address next. Does it need to go in the scrap box? Like, I've got gilding flakes up here. I've got extra brushes and stuff. Do these go with my sponges in the drawer? Because these are obviously the less used sponges that I have. I've got lots of sponges. Photo of my oldest daughter. This little organizer holds pens and the Vicky Bouton crayons, things like that. Do these go in with the gelatos because they're so dusty? Seriously. Paper clips. This is my alcohol that I use to clean my nozzles after I'm done spraying certain sprays. I've just got lots and lots of things on top of this tower that I feel like can now come down and have a home, because I have a lot of empty space now. I mean, a ton of empty space. I just don't know what to do with it yet. I do have 2 Rascog carts over here. One of them is definitely needing to be replaced. However, I don't think that these bins are sturdy enough to handle what's in those carts, because they're paint bottles and things like that. I may go on to Create Room and see if my box can hold those refrigerator bins and switch them out. And then maybe, instead of having these deep ones, get more shelves and have lots of these little skinny ones, because I do like the skinny ones, but these big ones do come in handy for like my spray bottles and stuff like that. So that is where I'm at this moment. I just wanted to come back on and share with you guys that I was able to clean it all out. I got it all ready to go. And I mean, I'm super happy with how fast this came together, even though I broke it up into several videos. This was a good exercise. I have a whole box of stuff to give to the school, because they're not even scrapbook related items, you guys. It was crazy what I found in this box, and still needing to go. I just realized, like right now, I used this. So this cart, let me see if I can't get it into view. Oh, I need to put it down. Please hold. See, I'm a terrible cameraman. Alright. Sorry. So, I've got trash. Do you see my trash? Isn't it pretty? I have these extra bins here. So I have three extra bins that I could put right in here and manipulate these, because I have the shelving, my 3 extra shelves right behind me. So I've got these to still play with. In fact, I'll put them right here. Now, one of the things that I don't like that I did to myself was that I put sticker labels on these, like with a label maker. And when I go to pull them off, this is what happens. Do you see that? It didn't all come off. So I'm going to have to take some undo or something onto those and get those all off, because these are all labeled and now they're all mislabeled. So there's nothing in them. Some of them can stay, like my quilling one and my cutting system one, but that's pretty much it. Everything else I have redone, it's all matched up, I should say. I've got this paper here, but one of the things I wanted to share with you guys was I'm not sold on this cart just yet. Sorry. I'm not sold on this cart just yet. I don't like how it's so low to the ground that I have a hard time using the bottom shelf. Everything gets dusty on it because it only takes 5 seconds and everything gets dusty in this room. That's why I like vertical storage more than I like flat storage, because flat storage, the first one on top is going to get dusty and dirty, and then I'm washing my hands like 6 times a day because everything that I touch. These are kits that need to be put away. I forgot about them, so that is on my to-do list. I have some scrap wood pieces that I was playing with, extra bits and pieces from the June collection. So I've got a couple things on this top tray that need to be addressed still. On the bottom tray, I just realized, this is why I don't like this tray, because I can't see everything, or this tray system. I just can't see everything. But I just realized I've got all of my, they're not punches, but they're punches. So like these are corner punches and hole punches that need to be put away, and then all this tissue. I have all this tissue that came from my tower and now needs a home. So I'm not sure, do I put it in like one of these bins, and then that way they're all laid out nice and flat, and then of course the dust can get them this way instead of this way. I have no idea yet. I do know, again, it's product focus, because I've got 5 rolls of tissue paper and I've probably only used each roll twice at max. So again, another product focus is tissue paper, but where to put them. I really like the idea of having them right here, because then I've got my white cardstock for mixed media and then my tissue paper right above. So I think that's where I'm going to put them for right now. I've taken out all of my little papers, so now I can actually see that there's tissue paper in the bin. I like the fact that I can see everything in these bins, you guys. I really do. But I do think that I'm going to get a clearer view if I try to go to the refrigerator system. So I'm gonna try to get onto Scrapbook or Create Room and see what they have. I know they don't have these anymore. In fact, they don't even offer this size of bin with their boxes anymore, and I don't even know if they offer this size anymore. So I don't want to get rid of them, but I do want to see if I can upgrade a little bit. I really do. So these punches here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with just yet. I know I need to address them. I would like them. I did like how they were hanging on this bottom shelf down here that you can't see. There's a big, huge hole where the paper racks all go in like this, and then it ends up with a shelf. And I did like them hung there, but I don't think that that's going to be my final solution. So I will figure out, because I use these quite often, to be honest, and I knew exactly where they were when they were down there. So I will see what's going on with these ones, but I know they're not going back on this cart. Like I said, this cart is almost one of those that is out of sight, out of mind. It works for some, but it does not. Oh my stars. It hasn't worked for me. So I think I just need to figure out, oh, magnets, sorry. I think I just need to figure out what I'm doing with this cart and give it another try before moving it out of my room, because it's just not, it just doesn't work for me, because of how dirty it really gets in my room, and how long, I mean, even if I use it as a monthly cart, by the end of the month it'll be filthy. It really will. So I'm not really sure. I'm super excited to get it. I really liked the idea of having 5 different trays to be able to use my stuff. I just wish it was a little taller and had a little bit more space between each tray. So maybe I can use the trays and have my hubby expand these pieces and get it to work for me. So I might do that. I might have him go in and put like 5 more inches in between each tray, because it's a good idea, but it doesn't work for me, if that makes any sense. So I might have my hubby go and make these bigger. That's a good idea. I'm glad I said that out loud. Okay, so as far as my my box, it's revamped, it's done. And I will slowly move into, but I'm not sure about these. That's the thing. I don't know if I want to get rid of my deep ones or not just yet. Or I probably wouldn't. I'll probably just, Anyways, that's what I've got going on. Thank you so much for going on this journey with me. Honestly, it only took 3 days. I know I spread it out over 6 videos, but it only took 3 days. Nice and steady and strong for me to be able to get this accomplished, and I'm super happy with it. I don't know. All right, you guys, thanks again for joining me. If, like I said, any adaptation that I do to this, I will come back on and share it with you guys. All right.